Hi guys.
Hey guys.
Jake and Paula here of Tartan Developments. We're back.
We're back. I know it probably looks like I've been eating this all the time, but we have been busy with a bunch of projects on the go. So yeah, we just wanted to do a video here. What are we doing, Paula?
We are going to analyze flips and kind of how we run our numbers. I know there are a lot of quick formulas that you can do to kind of say, is this going to work or not? But today we thought we'd dive a little bit deeper and kind of give a breakdown of basically all the costs.
You definitely got to break it down and be super detailed to get your numbers correct, for sure. Not so much hidden costs that there are, but just like very detailed. You want to get your numbers very detailed. Okay.
So first things first, ARV, which is?
After repair value. So you want to know what that property is going to be worth once it's renovated, and in order to determine this, you got to use comparables, which you can get from your realtor.
If you don't have a realtor who understands flips or understands investing, and you're in London, Ontario, and surrounding area, feel free to ask me. I'm more than happy to help out with comps. Yes, but ARV, very important.
Yeah. So after you determine your ARV, and also with the ARV, you want to be conservative. You don't want to be like, oh, this house sold for 700, I'm going to sell for whatever. You just want to be realistic, and I would say conservative as well.
Okay.
So costs associated. So at closing, like closing of the purchase, you'll have land transfer tax, which can sometimes, depending on the purchase price, it is based on purchase price, but can be pretty substantial. And if you just Google land transfer tax Ontario, you'll be able to get that.
Yeah, there's a calculator. You can put the purchase price in and it'll give you the tax.
And then you'll have some legal fees with that. We always just use $1,500 to close on that. And then, so you close on it, and then you got to do your renovation. So this is kind of comes with experience. I mean, I definitely recommend if you can have a contractor come in and give you a quote before you purchase, it would be beneficial, but you can't always do that, and you kind of have to rely on your own estimates. So this is where you need to be super detailed. Like we have a spreadsheet that lists every possible renovation that you could ever do to a house, and we just go through the specific project, and fill in the cost there, running total, and then you also want to have a contingency because something always will go wrong, and you'll always spend more than you think.
We aim for a 20% contingency. And this is just based on our experience in renovations. Renovations are always going to go longer, and they're always going to cost a little bit more than you expected. For sure. So just be prepared for that.
And speaking of always going longer, the next thing is carrying costs. So this can vary. Well, obviously you always have to include all the same things, but depending on, this is why you want to rent it, because you want to know what your interest rate is going to be on your mortgage, if you're borrowing the money for the renovation, what that's going to cost. And then you also have to pay your property taxes and utilities. So I'll run through it. So mortgage, whether it be a traditional mortgage or private mortgage, you'll have monthly payments. Your property tax, your utilities, your insurance, which if you don't shop around can be pretty expensive for a project like this. We've paid upwards of $500 a month, but we've also paid like $150 a month. So utilities, insurance.
And then if you're borrowing a renovation funds, you're gonna have
interest on that as well. So that can accumulate pretty quick, and it's not too hard to get up to like $4,000 a month carrying, right? So the quicker you can get the project done, you're obviously saving, right? If you can shave 2 months off the whole project, you're saving like $8,000, right? And another thing to consider is, say you want to get the project done in 2, we have to list it, sell it, and then have that period of a closing date too. So
so like even if you're going to do a 2-month renovation and it actually goes on time and on schedule, then you might have a 60-day closing. So you think it's only 2 months, but it's actually 4 because you got to hold that.
Yeah, and it might not sell right away too, right? So you want to be safe on that. Like a normal one, we always do 6 months on a regular one. I know things are good right now and things sell pretty quickly, but 6 months.
That's what we use.
And another thing too, I don't know if you got room there, but depending on what type of mortgage you have, you may have fees associated with breaking that mortgage early.
Yes. So. Penalties.
Penalties was the word I was looking for.
Okay.
All right. And then you get your project all done, it's looking good, and you list the property. So there's gonna be some costs in selling the property, which could be substantial.
Come back up here.
Sure. So these fees would include your realtor fees to sell. So that's typically 4 to 4.5%. What did you say?
We'll say 4 to 5%.
4 to 5%. So that, you know what, like average house price in London's over 500 now, so that really can add up. What's that one? And plus HST too. Don't forget
yeah.
HST. It's something people forget. Can be significant.
Don't mind our dog.
Yeah, dog's going nuts here. So, and then you'll have legal fees to close that property out as well.
And we always say another 1,500.
Yeah.
Do that.
So that's pretty much it. But just make sure you run your numbers and get a very detailed renovation budget, and then just be mindful of all the other fees like land transfer. Your carrying costs are going to be huge, especially if you're using private money, and just factor that all in. And you know what? It adds up really quick, and it makes finding a property that works difficult. So you definitely want to buy right and have all your costs associated bang on for that.
Definitely. And yeah, if you have any questions, let us know. We'd be happy to, go into further detail about anything. Or
For sure.
Yeah.
Is this going on YouTube?
Yeah.
Smash that like button.